Boys, today we are back, and UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira happened last night, UFC Vegas 113, and I'm going to be recapping the entire card. The card was mid as hell. It was at the Apex. It was soulless like usual. Even though they added more fans, I really couldn't tell. It still felt like the Apex. It still felt fucking boring and dumb, and why are we here? But I'm not going to... I want to preface this by saying, I did say Mario Bautista would dog walk Vinicius Oliveira, and that did happen. Now, I'm not going to be a told you so guy, because when I watch MMA Guru and he gets a pick right, all he does is say, I told you, I called it. And I hate that shit. I hate being a know-it-all guy. And I know people thought Mario Bautista would win this fight. I know a lot of people were picking Mario Bautista, but in my defense, I said he would dog walk it. I said it wouldn't be close, and it really wouldn't, because Mario Bautista absolutely shut out Vinicius Oliveira, bitched him. But we're going to get into that. But first, let's start off with the first fight of the night. Claudia Saigula versus Priscilla Cachoeira. This fight was terrible. No takedowns, it was just straight striking, straight these punches, that's all we saw. Priscilla Cachoeira's face was, swelled up at the end of the fight. Claudia Saigula, won 30-27. And yeah, I was on my phone half the time for this one, but yeah, congrats Claudia Saigula. Anyway, moving on. Muin Gafurov versus Jakub Wicklacz. Now, this was actually, it wasn't a decent fight, but it was, it was fun towards the end, obviously. Wicklacz came out in the first, minute of the fight, and I thought he was going to fucking finish Gafurov, in the first round. He was landing great teep kicks, great kicks. He was landing punches on Gafurov, but towards the end of the first round, Gafurov was landing too, and I actually thought Gafurov won the first round, all right? I thought Gafurov won the first round, but... Anyway, I'll save that for the end. But the second round started. Wicklacz got a takedown, got a ton of control time. Can't remember who shot for the takedown, but anytime it would go to the ground, Wicklacz, he would scramble, and he had great scrambles. He would always end up on top. Always threatening submission. So Wicklacz clear second round. He did win that second round in my mind. A lot of control time. Wasn't that exciting, but he did win. All right. Now, third round came. Gafurov was winning this round on the feet, all right? I don't know what the fucking the judges were seeing, but in my opinion, Gafurov was winning the third round and was going to win the third round until, with 10 seconds left, he's piecing up Wicklacz on the feet. He shoots for a dumbass takedown. Wicklacz reverses him, gets the guillotine, mounted guillotine, and finishes him with 1 second left. He did tap before the bell. It was clear as day. I saw Marab came out and said that he only tapped because he thought the bell had rang. That's bullshit. He's lying. Gafurov did tap with 1 second left. And why are you shooting that takedown, bro? Genuinely, why are you shooting that takedown? That was the dumbest fucking thing you could do. That was a Dan Hooker level dumb fucking decision. He shot a takedown on BSD that he shouldn't have and got finished. And then you shot a takedown after winning the third round, in my opinion. So, Wicklacz gets the finish with 1 second left, and he wins the fight. The scorecards come out. Even the commentators said Gafurov probably should have won 1-3. That's what they were insinuating, and that's what I thought. Gafurov 1-3. The scorecards come out, and Wicklacz would have won if he didn't get the finish. They gave Wicklacz round 1 and 3, 2 and 3. I think every judge gave Gafurov the first or something like that. It was fucked up. They said Wicklacz would have won the fight, which in my opinion was absolutely terrible judging, absolute horrible judging. Muin Gafurov won rounds 1 and 3, in my opinion. And if he didn't get finished, it doesn't matter because the judges had it for Wicklacz. But in my opinion, he won that fight. Tell me if I'm crazy in the comments. But this is a little controversial, crazy finish at the end. In my opinion, Gafurov did tap. And if he didn't tap, he would have won in my book. But Wicklacz gets the finish, and he was excited as fuck. Bro. That was a shitty performance by both. Let's be honest. They're both going to be nothing in this sport. Moving on. Wang Kong versus Eduarda Mora. Now, I did pick Eduarda Mora. I thought she would upset Wang Kong, and she almost did. Another terrible... This is one of the worst scorecards in UFC history. Wang Kong 30-27. She got dominated and almost choked out. Literally, she had a locked-in sub. If Eduarda Mora had any skill and knew how to hide the hand, she was trying to finish... I know you can finish a rear naked like this, but if she would have just held the... You know what I mean? I can't do it myself, but you know what I mean. She was palm to palm trying to do a fucking rear naked choke. I've never trained a day in my life, and even I know that's wrong. So Wang Kong came out in the first round, dropped Eduarda Mora, dominated her in the first round. She won the first round. Eduarda Mora, second round, came out, got a takedown, got a ton of control time, and literally had a locked-in choke, and somehow one judge still gave Wang Kong that round, which is absolutely crazy. It was one of the worst scorecards in UFC history, but it doesn't really matter because this fight is means nothing and is shit. So, and then third round, Wang Kong beats her up on the feet, doesn't get taken down, kind of brutalizes Eduardo Mora in that third round and wins a decision. So I was wrong. I almost got the underdog pick right, but Wang Kong wins, and she'll never be anything in this sport. Let's be real. She looks shit. If you're not beating Eduardo Mora like convincingly, like you're not beating anyone high level. All right. So moving on. Javid Bashrat versus Gianni Vasquez. Now, I did say Javid Bashrat in my prediction video would have the worst fight of the night as well as his brother, because they are both, some of the most boring motherfuckers in the sport. But this was actually kind of a scrap. Gianni Vasquez came to scrap. First round, Javid floors him and then somehow does not finish him, which is crazy. Like, how are you fucking knock out a guy on 4 days notice? Or how do you knock down a guy on 4 days notice and can't finish him on the ground when the guy's all fucking wobbly? But anyway, finishing instincts of a fucking turtle, like, I don't know. But Javid Bashrat came out in the first round, looked really good, dropped Vasquez. Then Vasquez in the second round was lighting up Javid Bashrat. He won that second round on all the judges' scorecards, and I did think he won that round too. Yeah, he was piecing up Bashrat. I thought he was going to finish him, but third round, Javid came out and just landed the better shots in the third round and won 29-28, and good for him. He actually had a fun fight for the first time in his UFC career, so congrats to him. And Gianni Vasquez, you missed weight. You'll probably stay in the UFC for stepping up, but you'll never be anything, so who cares about that fight anyway? Moving on. Ketlin Souza versus Bruno Brazil. I'm not going to lie, I barely watched a second of this fight. It was boring as fuck. Ketlin Souza was landing some good shots. Bruno Brazil landed like a few good shots around, but I think Ketlin Souza landed the most and held her up against the cage. So Ketlin Souza won 29-28. Moving on. I literally didn't watch a second of that fight. I'm going to be real. I was on my phone the entire time. That fight sucked. But moving on. Nikolai Veretennikov versus Nico Price. This was one of the funniest KOs in recent memory, in my opinion. Veretennikov came out, put the pressure on, just finished Nico Price up against the fence. And Nico Price was like out against the fence, but he never fell down, so he was just like leaning. He was just like leaning against the fence, like knocked out. It was funny as fuck. Yeah, not really much to say. Nico Price is an absolute punching bag nowadays. I said this would be fight of the night because I thought Nico Price would make it entertaining, but the guy just went out there to get blobbed and finished and slimed in like 2 seconds. So Veretennikov won. Good for him. He's 14-7. He now has like 2 wins in the UFC, I think. So he'll be like a bottom feeder in the welterweight division. He'll probably fight like Gauthier next or something and get absolutely slimed. Oh no, Gauthier is a middleweight. I'm dumb as fuck. Anyway, moving on. This fight was, a nothing fight. Nico Price just got finished and up against the fence in the first 10 seconds. So yeah, but it was funny because Nico Price was half out on the fucking fence. So moving on. Featured prelim, Alex Morono versus Danil Donchenko. Now, Danil Donchenko had Alex Morono out of there in the first round. How do you not finish fucking Alex Morono in the first round? Like, you had him knocked down bad. You had him wobbly. But credit to Alex Morono. He stayed in there. He gritted out a decision. Donchenko did beat him up for 3 rounds. It was nice to see Donchenko. The gas tank was waning a little bit, but he faced some adversity with Morono still staying in the fight. So, yeah, nice little win for prospect Donchenko. I think, he'll do decent. This showed that, even if he doesn't get someone out of there in the first round, he's got the gas tank to keep going. Obviously, he did get more tired, but because he unloaded on Moreno at the end of the first round. So he did get a little tired, but he still won every single round. So it was a nice showing from Donchenko, and credit to Alex Morono for staying in and not quitting in that first round, because he could have just quit. He was taking hella blows, but he started moving when the ref yelled at him to move. So credit to him for not quitting, and Donchenko gets a nice dominant win. Moving on. Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I picked Dustin Jacoby to win. I'll go over all my picks at the end, but I did pick Dustin Jacoby to win, and he did slime out Julius Walker. Julius Walker was doing good with the grappling, picked up Jacoby like 3 times, like right off his feet, and dumped him in the first round. So I thought Julius Walker was going to be able to, control him for the next 2 rounds. I was actually kind of worried for Jacoby, but second round, Jacoby was just putting that pepper on him. Jacoby's striking so slick, so he landed some good shots. It was kind of a late stoppage. Herb Dean could have, stopped it a little sooner. Or no, it wasn't Herb Dean. It was Dan Mergliotta. Dan Mergliotta is such an ass ref. He reffed his 500th fight last night. He should definitely retire because he does not have it anymore, but he let the fight go a little too long, but who really cares? I'd rather have a fight go longer and the guy get a little more damage than an early stoppage. So I was fine with the stoppage. It did go a little long, but that was fine. And Jacoby's got 3 wins in a row now. I say toss him up there against like a top 20, 25 guy now. He was on the edge of the rankings. I'm pretty sure he was ranked at one point at 15. So give him not a top 15 guy, but someone close, like in that top 20, 25. So yeah, 3 wins in a row for Jacoby, and he looked good against Julius Walker. Moving on. Farid Bashrat. not gonna lie, he put on a nice little scrap too. I mean, it wasn't that exciting, but it was better than all of his other UFC fights. So congrats to the Basharat Bros for actually putting on entertaining scraps in the UFC for the first time in their career. So yeah, congrats to you guys. This was a split decision. I thought maybe Matsumoto could have won the second and third round, to be honest, but I didn't really care. Excuse me. I didn't really care. Both of these guys are never going to be anything in my mind. Farid Basharat's not, as soon as he fights someone in the top 15, I think he's going to lose. If you're going to life and death with Gene Matsumoto at this stage in your career, chalk it up, bro. You're never going to be anything. But he called for a top 15 guy after. I don't really have much to say about this fight. It wasn't that exciting, but it was a little scrappy. Gene Matsumoto was going for takedowns. He was lighting up Farid on the feet in one round. I can't even really remember. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to this fight. It was Farid Basharat. I was watching, I wasn't on my phone, but I wasn't retaining the information, you know what I'm saying? Because these guys are just boring as fuck. So yeah, Farid Basharat wins, split decision. I thought Gene Matsumoto could have won the second and third on damage. But yeah, who cares? Moving on. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Now this was a little decent scrap too. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk in the first round looked like he was just going to pick. Marc-Andre Barriault is tough, but I thought Mikhail Oleksiejczuk would get him out of there in the first round. But Marc-Andre took the shots, came back in the second round, started landing his own. He won that second round on all the judges' scorecards, and in my opinion, he won the second round too. Marc-Andre did. Landed way better shots than Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, but credit to Mikhail Oleksiejczuk for going out there and winning the third round after losing the second, and showed after some adversity, just like the Danil Donchenko. They both had good first rounds, got some adversity in the second round, and then in the third, powered through for a win. Give Mikhail Oleksiejczuk a top 15 guy at middleweight. I think he would do well. Give him a fucking Jack Hermanson. I know he's not top 15 anymore, I don't think, but give him Pfeiffer if he loses. Give him Roman Dolidze if he loses the CLD or some shit like that. But I think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, ever since going to the Fighting Nerds, he has leveled up. So give him a top 15 guy. But yeah, if you're also giving up around a Marc-Andre, are you really that good? But anyway, let's see how he does against a top 15 guy next, and a good win for Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Moving on, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Cut both of these guys. Both of these guys need to be cut. At least Jailton Almeida does. In that first round, he said he was going to come out with more aggression, but in that first round, all he was doing was holding Kuniev up against the fence. And then in the second round, he was getting pissed off that Kuniev was holding him up against the fence. Bro, you guys are the same guy. This fight was just terrible. The heavyweight division's so fucking cooked, it's not even funny. Rizvan Kuniev has now gotten 2 top 5 opponents in a row. He just got fed into the fucking top 5 of the rankings. So, I guess he'll be the top 6 and fucking probably fight Pavlovich or fucking Waldo Cortez or something next. So, I don't know, man. This division's fucking awful. Jailton Almeida tried to make it scrappy in the second and third round, but he would just get held up against the fence and then barely try to move off. In the third round, he did do a better job of getting off the fence when Kuniev was holding him, but both of their striking was ass. Kuniev just tried to hold him up against the fence the entire time. This is just fucking Kuniev's just a fat blob. I think Jailton should go back to 205. Tell me I'm wrong. At 205, he was fucking brutalizing dudes. So I think he should go back to 205 and or just retire or just get cut and go to PFL. You could probably be a PFL champion. So yeah, fucking horrible fight. Cut both of them. And yeah, fuck them both. Moving on. Kyoji Horiguchi versus Amir Albazi. Oh, man. I said I wanted Amir Albazi to win because I felt bad for him because every fight he's in, he gets a ton of damage. And the same thing happened here. I felt bad for him. I wanted him to win. I'm not a big fan of Horiguchi. The guy's all right, but he's kind of boring in my opinion. Albazi was doing good on the feet in some rounds, and he was doing good smudging Horiguchi up against the fence, but Horiguchi's striking was just on a different level than Amir Albazi. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. I didn't enjoy this fight. I'm not a big Horiguchi guy. I don't see the hype behind this guy. I think Van, I think Pantoja, I think Tyra, and I think Kopp all fucking brutalized Kyoji Horiguchi. I don't think it'll be close with any of those guys, so yeah, Amir Albazi did decent, but he got 30-27 on 2 judges' scorecards, and I felt bad for him, man. He was all fucking beat up again. I just feel sad for the guy for some reason. I want Amir Albazi to win. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for the guy. So yeah, he loses. This is a pretty uneventful fight in my opinion. I was watching the Duke UNC game while this was on, so yeah, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I did. I was watching the entire fight, but I had to pause it at some moments and watch Duke UNC, but that's a different topic. Anyway, yeah, Kyoji Horiguchi won, and yeah, mid-fight. Moving on, main event. This brought tears of joy to my eyes. Mario Bautista. I'm a Mario Bautista fan after this, performance. there was no way Vinicius Oliveira should have been in a main event. Like, genuinely looking back, why was he in a main event? His best win is Kyler Phillips, and he looked shit in that fight. He looked shit in Saeed Nurmagomedov fight. That's his second to last fight. Like, those guys aren't even in the rankings. Like, why are we giving this guy an opportunity? UFC matchmaking so dog shit. It's not even funny. Hunter Cable, fix your shit. It's not even Dana White anymore. Both of you guys suck. So yeah, fix your fucking matchmaking. There's no way Vinicius Oliveira should have been in this position. There's no way he should be ranked. He should be just outside of the rankings after beating Kyler Phillips. It's bullshit this guy's even ranked. He had 1 round of cardio. The guy was literally on his fucking ass. Couldn't even get on the stool at the end of the first round. And Mario Bautista just showed levels, man. This made me a fan of Mario Bautista. Anyone else? Anyone else fuck with Mario Bautista after this? He looks so good. And yeah, I don't really have much to say. He literally dog walked Vinicius Oliveira. Vinicius was pressuring him in the first round. Mario got a takedown, controlled him on the ground for a little bit. And then Vinicius Oliveira for like 45 seconds just laid on his back and let Mario kick him. And then just squabbled to the fucking corner and sat on his ass and couldn't even get on the stool. And then in the second round, Mario Bautista went out, got a takedown. I think Vinicius got a takedown in the second round. Mario Bautista's scrambles are top tier. This guy is this guy's up there with like the Sandhagens, the O'Malley's. I think Mario Bautista would beat Sean O'Malley, would beat Corey Sandhagen. Like, I think Mario Bautista would only lose to like Merab and Umar. Like, tell me I'm wrong, and Peter Yan. I think Mario Bautista would genuinely finish Sean O'Malley. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think he would finish Sean O'Malley. And he looked so good. The scrambles were insane. Went for the Kimura. Vinicius got out of the Kimura and then immediately sunk up a choke. Vinicius didn't even try to fight it. Just immediately tapped like a bitch. Like, so I don't know what the fuck. Like, fuck Vinicius Oliveira, man. I'm like, genuinely. The guy shouldn't have even been here. Shouldn't have even been in the main event. Looked dog shit. And shout out Mario Bautista. I am now a fan of you. You made me look like a genius. And yeah, Mario Bautista wins by submission. I fuck with Mario Bautista now. Let's go through my picks. Let's see how I did. Claudia Sagula, 1-0. Jacob Wicklach, 2-0. Wang Kong, 2-1. Javid Bashrat, 3-1. Wait, right? 1, 2. Yeah, 3-1. Ketlin Souza, 3-2. Nikolai Veretennikov, 4-2. Daniil Donchenko, 5-2. Dustin Jacoby, 6-2. Farid Bashrat, 6-3. Mikhail Alexeychuk, 7-3. Rizvan Kuniev, 7-4. Kyoji Horiguchi, 8-4. Mario Bautista, 9-4. So not bad. 9-4. UFC 324, I went 7-4. UFC 325, I went 8-5. And this card, I went 9-4. So, hey, your boy's good at picks. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Your boy is good at picks. I'm going to be the best, predictor on YouTube, one day, boys, one day. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the main event in the Let me know what you think of the main event in the comments. Let me know if you're now a Mario Bautista fan like I am. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.